Hi, welcome to Dari. In this video, I'll be showing you 15 powerful DAX functions that you should know as a Power BI user. This will include aggregation functions, logical functions, data type functions, and so on. So let's get started. So this is a blank Power BI report. I'll be getting our data now, importing the data, which is a CSV document. We're making use of the Superstore dataset. So I'll just directly load this into Power BI without making any transformation. So our data has been loaded. Let us go to the data pane. So in the data pane, you could see the columns in the data set. We have category, we have city, country, customer ID, and so on like that. Let us check the table view. So yes, in the table view, we can see the row ID, order ID, the order date, ship mode, customer ID. Then we have sales, quantity, discount, and profits. So let us start with aggregation functions first. So for example, we want to calculate the total sales. We can make use of creating a new measure. So the new measure will make use of the aggregation function called sum. So let's say we want to find out the total sales. The total sales equal to sum function, and what we want to calculate is the sales. So sum of sales is what we want to find out, and then I press enter. This will be calculated. And then since we know sales is a currency, so format this to display the value in the column to currency. And then make use of a card visual, and then select total sales. So now we can easily say that total sales in the data set of total sales of the orders that were made is $12.3 million. So that is how to make use of the sum function. Next is the average aggregation function. We're creating another measure, new measure. Let us find out the average quantity of items that are being sold. Let's say the average quantity that a customer, average quantity of items that a customer purchases. So we'll make use of the average function, and then we'll also select the quantity column and click on enter. So I'm just going to insert another card visual and then select average quantity. Let's say our average quantity is 3.79, and we can make this into an whole number, an integer, by formatting this in the decimal point from auto, changing it to 0 decimal places. So consider the average quantity of items that are purchased at any point in time is 4. So next, we would like to calculate the number of customers that actually purchased items from the Superstore company, and then we'll make use of the count function for that. So I'll also create a new measure, then call this number of customers. So now what we want to find out is total number of customers, not even the distinct number of customers now. So make use of the count function, and then this time around you can count the customer ID, so we have that as well. We can see it's a number of customers. So I'm just going to insert another card visual and then select number of customers. The total number of customers in the data set is now 9,994. So now let's say we want to find out what the number of distinct customers is in the data set. So for example, a customer might purchase an items from the Superstore multiple times. So we want to find out the distinct number of customers that purchased items. So now we'll make use of the function called distinct count. We can call this distinct customers be equal to, right, distinct count. Then we can now select customer name. Since we know the customer name will be a particular person, and press enter. Using another card visual, I'm just going to select distinct number of customers. So now we can see that distinct number of customers in data set is 793. So now another aggregation function we should know is the minimum and maximum function. Say for example, we want to find out the lowest sale that was made by the company. So create a new measure. We'll call this mean sales. Use the aggregation function called mean, and then we select sales. Then I'm just going to create another measure called max sales, equal to using the function called max. So I have our column name now will also be sales. Then press enter. So I'll be inserting a card visual here, select mean sales. I see our minimum sales $0.44. Then also select another card visual and select max sales. And then we can also change this to give us to include the dollar sign as the currency. So just go to format. Once you select the measure, then you go to format and click on display the values in this column as currency. So same thing for mean sales. So I'm just going to do the same thing as well, and you can see that this will change to 0.444, and we can also decrease the number of decimal places to 2. So we have 44 cents for this. So that is that about aggregation functions. I've showed how to use the sum, how to use the average, how to use the count, how to use the distinct count, how to use the mean, and how to use the maximum sales. So now let's go to date and time function. So in our table, we can see other dates as Sunday, July 17, 2016. Say for example, you'd like to extract the year, the month, or the particular day the order was made. So making use of date and time function. So now we'll be creating a new column. So you can also come here and click on these more options and select new column. So our new column now will be order year. We want to find out what the order year is for each particular order. So we make use of the year function equal to year. Press the tab to bring out the brackets, or you can also include the bracket sign yourself. So our dates now will be order dates. Then I'm just going to close the bracket and press enter. So we have the order year to be 2016, 2017. If I click on this, you can easily see that the orders year in this data set is from 2014 to 2017. So now let us find out the particular month the order was made. So again, I'm just going to click on new column. And then our new column name now will be order month, which is equal to make use of the month function. And our date will also still be the order date. I'm just going to close the bracket and click on enter. So you can see a new column that has been added as 7, 12, 12 for December, 4 for April, and so on like that. Then now I'm just going to create another column to find out the particular day the order was made, particular day of the month. So we can call this order day, which will be equal to make use of the day function, and then our dates will also still be the other dates, and then close the bracket. So now we have the other date as other day as 1. This should be giving us values from 1 to 31. So from the first day of the month to the 31st day of the month. But now, say for instance that in your data set, what initially had is this other year, other month, and other day. We do not have the complete dates column. So we can make use of the dates function as well to find out, to like aggregate, to put together the other months, other year, and other day, if this was what we were given in your data set. So you can create a new column here as well, just to show how to do that. So our column now will be, let's call this order dates. This will be equal to, you use the date function. You can see you have to specify the year, the month, and the day. Our year is what we already calculated here as the other year. So I'm just going to type in other year, put the comma, then we need to include the other month as well. Put another comma, and then we need to include the other day. Then close the bracket. So now we can easily see that it brings out this together as 7/17/2016. And then we can also change the formatting. Under formatting here, you can see format. So if I click on this, you can easily see the different formats for date. For me now, this is I would like to make use of this date, month, and year order. So I'm just going to click on that, and then our column will be formatted appropriately. So now we can see 17/07/2016, which is 17th of July 2016, 21st of December 2017. So now let's say we have this other date, and what we like to find out is the particular day of the week this date falls under. So what to find out whether it is a Monday, or it is a Sunday, or it is a Saturday. There is a function for that as well. I'm just going to click on new column again. And for this, I can call it order weekday. So make use of the function called weekday. You can see the weekday requires a date as well. So I'm just going to select order date, and then we can also specify the return type. But this is in a bracket, so a squared bracket, showing that it is not compulsory that you insert the return type. So let us close this bracket first. And now we can see the other weekday. So this is specifying 1 as Sunday and then 7 as Saturday. But say, for example, like instead of Sunday showing as 1, we would like another day of the week to show as well. For example, Monday. All you need to do is edit the query. So you can select the other weekday again, which is already highlighted here. Then come here before the brackets, we include a comma. So 1 specifies that we want the first day of the week to be Sunday. 2 specifies that we want the first day of the week to be Monday. Then 3 specifies that we want the first day of the week to be Monday as well, but the return value for Monday will be 0. So I'm just going to select 2 now, since 1 is the default, which is the result we already saw. So if I change this to 2, we can see that our Sunday is now showing as 7, then Monday would now be showing as 1. If I change this from 2 to 3, and then click on enter, now our Sunday will now be showing as 6, then our Monday will be showing as 0. Next, we'll talk about the filter function. So you can see in this data set that we have regions. Under regions, we have Central, East, South, and West. We also have states to be different states in the United States. Then also we have ship mode, which can be first class, same day, second class, standard class. Then also we have this segment. A segment can be corporate, consumer, or home office. So for instance, now you like to find out the total sales based on a particular, maybe a particular ship mode or a particular segment or a particular region or a particular category. With this, we make use of the calculate function. So the calculate functions help you to perform aggregations with the inclusion of a particular filter, meaning you are performing calculations based on a particular context, a particular filter that has been started. So creating a new measure now. Let us find out the sales in the West region. So all we need to do is to include equal to calculate, and calculate requires an expression and then a filter. So for the expression now, we still want to find out the sum of sales. And then for our filter now, what we would like to find out is we want to make the region. Hold on, I'm supposed to close this bracket, yes. So then include a comma. So now we like our region to be equal to, let's say, the West. So I'm just going to put this in quotation and then close the bracket and click on enter. Now, if I include a card visual here, then select sales for the West region, we can see that the sales that was made in this particular region is $725. We can format this as well to be currency. So now, if you would like to edit this to include another filter as well, all you need to do is to come to the query that was already written, and then with this, we would like to include a particular filter. Let's say, for example, we would like our segments to be equal to one of the segments in the data set is the consumer segment. So we are filtering the data for that. So I'm just going to include this from sales west to include sales west for the customer segment and click on OK. So now our card visual is already updated because we included the customer segment. Now we have the sales in the West region for the customer segment or consumer. This should be consumer segment to be $362. Let me just edit this consumer, not customer. Yes. So that's that about filter function. The other functions I'll be talking about is the logical function. So logical functions will help you to evaluate a particular statement and then return a true value or a false value based on what is imputed. So for example, now let us go back to the table view. We would like to categorize our customers based on sales. So in this sales column, we like to categorize them. So for example, customers that purchase items that are above $200 should be our high-end customers, and the customers with values less than 200 should be the low-end customers. So you can make use of the if function here. So you're just going to create a new function, new column, and then write this as customer type. So write equal to if can see if requires a logical test and the result if true, and then the result if false, if you would like to include that. So our logical test should be sales greater than 200. And then our result if true, we want this to be high end. And then if the result is false, we would like to return the low end. And then click on enter. So now we can see our customer type low end, and then we have high end. If you would like to visualize this, let us come here and then include a column chart. And then our x-axis should be the customer type. And then the y-axis should be that will be the count of the customer ID. So now we can see that our low-end customers is higher than the high-end customers. So that is how to make use of the if function, which is a logical function. So now there are other logical functions such as switch function. Let us make use of the switch function. So rather than just high-end and low-end, we would like to categorize them further into high-end, low-end, and medium-end. And then we would not like to elongate our if statements by including another if as well. So just come here and click on new column. Our new column, let's call this customer type 2 to make use of switch. So the switch requires an expression, then the value, and then the result. Our expression first is that we would like this to evaluate as true because switch function would evaluate, we would like to include a calculation in this, and switch function usually make use of absolute values. So just make use of switch, and then our value now, let me just put this down a little bit, come to the next line. So the value we would like to evaluate is if our sales is less than or equal to 50, we would like it to return the result. We would like this to return low end, put another comma, and then if our sales is less than or equal to 100, that is between 50 and 100, we like this to return medium end, comma, and then we can end this with an else instead of writing another logical function here again. So else we would like the results to be high end. Then we can close the brackets and click on enter. So now you can see our customer type 2, medium end, low end, and then we have high end as well. So let me just come here and change this from customer type to customer type 2. So now we can see low end, high end, and the medium end. There are other logical functions that we can use as well. For example, the and the or functions. So let me just create another new column here. And then let's say we would like to make use of two columns now. We want to make use of the sales and we want to make use of the profits. So the and the or functions will return either a true or a false. So let us call this sales, or let us call this premium. So our premium now starts with an and then our logical function for the first one will be that we want our sales is greater than 200, and then the second logical function is that maybe our profit is greater than, let's say, 20 or 25. So if the sales is greater than 200 and the profit is also greater than 25, the result will be given as either a true or a false. So false means that the two statements here are not true for this particular row. For this one now that says true, so if you go to the sales and profit, you can see the sales is higher than 200 and the profit is also higher than 25. And then if you change this from, let's go to the premium. If you change this from and, we can change this to, let's say, or. If you change the statement to and or to evaluate if either of this is true. So now our results now changes. So for this one that says true now, we can see that it is either the profit is greater than 25 or the sales is greater than 20. So in this instance now, our profit is greater than 25, which is 30 years, so it evaluates as true. And for this one, our sales is greater than 200, therefore it evaluates as true as well. So in summary, I have showed 15 powerful DAX functions that you can make use of in your analysis, and these include the aggregation functions like the sum, the average, the minimum, the maximum, the count, and the distinct count. I have shown date and time functions like the date function, the year, the month, the day, and then the weekday. I have shown how to make use of the filter function calculate. You can also make use of logical functions like the if function, the switch function, the and function, and the or function. If you'd like to work on real life projects, you can also check out the Andai platform.